smartphone growth is slowing. Global smartphone shipments actually just grew 3% this year compared to 10% last year. The total internet users in the world have only grown 10% this year. But guess what? That's flat year over year. Last year, it was also 10%. Smartphones are actually hitting saturation. Smartphone shipment growth has dramatically declined in the last couple of years, and it's only 3% this year. What that indicates to me is that almost everyone who really wants or needs a smartphone has one. And so people are not really upgrading as much. Adults are spending a lot of time every day, as we all know, about 5 or 6 hours a day on the internet and about 3 hours per day on just mobile. Desktop usage has only declined slightly, indicating it's more of an addition of mobile than a shift to mobile. The other aspect of that is this whole thing called ad blocking. Now, people don't want to see ads. Nearly 400 million people around the world are blocking mobile ads. Big platforms like Facebook, Google, they're responding to advertisers seeking to prove return on investment on their ad spend by improving ad targeting relevance, right? So the ads that people are going to see, so hopefully they don't block these ads because the ads are more relevant to what they want to see. The big platforms are using the increasing willingness, people's willingness to buy online to earn revenue through ads for products. And so digital media publishers, when you're thinking about writing content, you got to think about what the users want to do, which is essentially to purchase and transact and learn about products and then be able to transact online. The other side of this is this shift towards what I call foot traffic, which is, digital media publisher, Google Nextdoor, Foursquare, Uber, location-aware ads, they're starting to appear now. How can you effectively influence purchases so that they read something on your website and they actually go to a store and make a purchase? Following Google's success with AdWords, based on what you type, right? That's search, that's Google's business. Snap, for example, is now succeeding with ads based on the images that you share. So user, influencer, generated content are making great ads. It's not ads that are produced by agencies or brands. It's really ads that are repurposed from content that's shared by users or social media influencers, and they perform better than content that's created by brands. The other thing that's going on is image recognition. What they're doing is they're allowing ad platforms to know what you're doing, what you're looking at. They're able to serve more ads. So these are ads based on what you're looking at. The other thing, when you think about, it's not just vision, it's actually also voice, right? It's voice recognition accuracy is improved. 20% of all mobile searches now are made with voice. Voice devices like, for example, Amazon Echo are exploding in popularity and breadth with 10 or 11 million Echoes are already installed in the United States. Customer service is actually shifting to chat. There's a rapid rise in the percentage of customer service conversations that are happening via real-time online chat instead of phones. And e-commerce is happening, right? So a lot of the publishers are starting to get into e-commerce. And, think about Amazon Prime and other online retailers. I mean, it's not just Amazon. Best Buy, for example, they've caused the package and parcel shipping volume to grow 9% this year. I mean, that's phenomenal. In the milliseconds it takes for a web page to load, dozens of companies you probably never heard of are bidding in a furious auction to serve you an ad. Yeah, that's called programmatic advertising. When you try to publish, you have to understand that it's a fragmented ecosystem you're publishing to, and it's a very convoluted supply chain. And there are issues that now plague that sector. And I'm gonna take you through all of those issues one by one. When you're publishing content, think about the issues of transparency, issues of measurement, issues of latency, things like header bidding when you're making money, privacy tracking, viewability, fraud, ad blocking, the issue of walled gardens, which is what Apple has done, the issue of fragmentation. So let's talk about the critical issues, right? The first issue is viewability. Viewability is an online advertising metric, and basically what it is, it's aiming to track only the impressions, these are ad impressions, that can actually be seen by users. For example, if an ad is loaded at the bottom of a web page, but a user doesn't scroll down far enough to see it, that impression would basically be deemed not viewable, right? I mean, viewability is designed to let advertisers pay only for the ads that users could possibly see. To assess the impact of viewability with fraud and ad blocking, consider the life cycle of a media impression, right? This little ad impression. Every load of a web page or video creates an ad opportunity, right? However, the ad blocking, which is now estimated at over $20 2%, I think, in North America, and it's higher in other countries. It prevents ads from being served to a person or consumer. Now, of the ads that are served, some are seen by bots. These are the machines that are recording fraudulent impressions. And another portion is delivered to humans, but not seen. So whether an ad is viewable or not depends on the viewability standards that vary by platform. And there's no common standard. So that's the other problem. So when you're actually developing content and you want advertisers on it and you want basically the content to be seen, everything is different. For example, YouTube counts 30 seconds as a view. Facebook is 3 seconds and Snapchat is 1 second, right? And so of the ads actually viewed, a very small portion of these instigates engagement by consumers. And an even smaller portion results in a conversion. So these two last elements are primarily relevant to for direct response advertising, whereas the brand advertising's objective is what? It's to help build demand generation or preference over time and may benefit from an impression alone. So if you analyze these issues from an economic perspective, there is significant value leakage in digital media, and that's half the problem. See, marketers, they lost value. Is the sum of fraud and non-viewable impressions. Now, in both instances, they paid for an ad, right? And that was never seen by a potential consumer. So publishers, on the other hand, lose even more. They lose the value from both fraud and ad blocking. So while I don't purport to have solutions, as I said, to all of these issues, I would suggest that whatever solutions are applied, be done so with the consideration of the principles of marketing equation, the marketer and the consumer. And on ad blocking in particular, I believe that the best way to prevent further proliferation of such ad blocking software downloads is to create a better consumer experience. And I can't stress this enough. While I sympathize with the publisher's predicament and value the economic construct that supports journalism, forcing the consumer's hand with, honestly, draconian measures is not the way to go. Consumer choice is here to stay. It's not going away. So the trend towards performance metrics and advertising serves to mitigate some of these issues, right? So when marketers are paying for business outcomes and not proxies like impressions, it alleviates many ills from measurement to fraud, right? So as a digital media company, think about those things. Look, if the marketer is not paying based on impressions, it's irrelevant that impressions are not seen.